Hello and welcome back to Heroes and Hooligans for another fantastic Monday night of fucking shenanigans. And it's extra good shenanigans because we are rolling into season 2 of our Grim Hollow Delirium campaign. You will notice some new names and some new faces at the table because we will be rolling back into Atharis with a brand new party with brand new motives and brand new daddies, I'm sure. I'm going to go around the table and introduce each one of my players and who they are playing for the evening. They're brand new characters. Then we're going to jump right into the world because I'm super excited to get into it, and I've got a lot of fun planned for this. So I'm going to go right here directly next to me over to Kevin. Hey, Kev, how's it going, buddy?
Oh, it's going all right.
Fantastic.
Some of you may know me. Some of you may not. I've been here for a few sessions. First joined as Fred, everyone's lovable vampire. Well, I wouldn't say lovable, but you know what I mean. Right now, I'm playing as Celine, the resident undead of the group. But what kind is? Well, you'll find out. I am playing her as a zealot barbarian. So hopefully, I get to hit some things.
Fantastic. Well, I'm glad you're coming back for season 2, Kev. I'm super excited to have you here. Next, we're going to go over to a brand new face at our table. How's it going, buddy?
Oh, it's going pretty good. I can't lie. It's very nice to be here. Hello, everybody. My name is Riley. I am brand new to being both a hero and a hooligan. And for my first time, I will be bringing the Inquisitive Rogue. He's just a guy, the human Loki Edis.
Perfect. We love a good human. If he was a fighter, he would be even awesomer. And awesomer is a word, in case any of you wanted to tell me it isn't. It is. Aria, hello, sweetheart.
Hello, how's it going?
It's fantastic. Thanks for coming to the table.
Thank you for inviting me. Hi, everybody. I'm Aria Galaxy. You may have seen me on Guild Superior or with my friend Kevin Games over at Lino Te Eterna. And tonight I will be playing Vesna, the Halfling Bard.
Aria, you have a special shout out tonight from our friends over at Guild Superior. Dave says hello to you, and he hopes you have fun.
Oh, hi, Dave. Miss you. Let's play again sometime soon.
Yeah. Don.
Howdy.
The legend of the leagues.
Debatable.
I didn't say what kind of legend, friend.
My new character is gonna have legends about her though, so it's okay. I will be playing Fiora, the fiery ex-pirate divine soul sorcerer, out on a bit of a vendetta.
I can dig it. I like it. And last but certainly not least, my channel co-DM. Hey, Chip. How's it going, buddy?
Hey, it's always going good when I'm here on the channel, Holy. Tonight I'm going to be playing Daruk, our moon druid ogresh, who is just looking to find a place of peace to start in this horrifying world of Atharis.
Peace would be wonderful, wouldn't it? It would be great if I walked you into a world of peace. It would be lovely if I walked you into the Candy Kingdom, where you were going to see gingerbread men frolicking through the powdered snow on the ground, and little sugar reindeers licking from a jelly river that runs through the shortbread trees, and jelly beans growing as leaves. It would be wonderful if I was going to walk you into a place like that, but I'm not. I'm going to walk you into a place desolate and forsaken, a realm where darkness reigns supreme. In this godless, unforgiving world, the lands are scarred by the relentless ravages of war, plagued by curses that seep into the very fabric of existence. Here, ghoulish creatures lurk in the shadows, their grotesque forms a testament to the horrors that have befallen this forsaken land. Magic, once revered and celebrated, has become a forbidden art, shroud in taboo. The Inquisition, a zealous and powerful force, has risen to prominence, their iron grip tightening around the throats of those who dare wield the arcane. The mere mention of magic is met with suspicion and those who are suspected of practicing it are swiftly hunted down, their fate sealed by the merciless hands of none other than the Inquisition themselves. But it is not only the absence of magic that plagues Atharis. Curses, ancient and malevolent, have taken root in the very essence of the land. They twist and corrupt all that they touch, turning a once vibrant landscape into desolate wastelands. The air is heavy with the stench of decay, and the people, weary and downtrodden, bear the weight of these curses upon their shoulders. In this world, the gods have turned their back on the mortals, leaving them to fend for themselves in the face of unimaginable adversity. The once revered deities have abandoned their followers, their divine presence replaced by an eerie silence. The people of Atharis are left to question their faith, their prayers falling on deaf ears as they struggle to find solace in a world devoid of divine intervention. It is within this bleak and treacherous landscape that your journey begins. Will you defy the Inquisition and embrace the forbidden arts of magic? Can you unravel the mysteries of curses that plague Atharis and restore hope to its people? Or will you succumb to the darkness that looms over this war-torn realm? The fate of Atharis rests in your hands, brave adventurers. What say you?
Bring it on.
Bring it on. Let's get some music. I've got some good foreboding music here. I'm going to take you back to a night when the sun dips below the horizon, casting long shadows across the desolate landscape, as a prison wagon rustles along a worn and dusty road. The wagon, its wooden frame creaking with each jolt, is pulled by a pair of haggard horses, their eyes filled with weariness and resignation. Inside the wagon, a group of individuals sits in silence, their faces etched with a mixture of fear, defiance, and resignation. The prisoners, a motley crew of misfits and outcasts, are bound by chains and shackles, their wrists and ankles chafing against the cold iron. Their clothes are tattered and stained, a testament to the hardships that they have endured. Each of them bears the weight of their own stories, their past shrouded in mystery and uncertainty. As the wagon trundles along the landscape around them, it begins to change. The barren wastelands give way to sprawling fields, dotted with the remnants of once thriving villages. The scent of smoke and decay hangs heavy in the air, a haunting reminder of the devastation that has befallen these lands. In the distance, a silhouette of towering walls and grand structures come into view. The prisoners know this place well, for it is the heart of the Burak Empire, the seat of power and justice. The city, known as the Citadel, stands as the testament to the Empire's former glory, its imposing presence a stark contrast to the desolation that surrounds it. As the wagon approaches the city gates, the prisoners can see the guards standing watch, their armor gleaming in the fading light. The guards, stoic and unyielding, eye the prisoners with a mixture of disdain and curiosity. They are the enforcers of the Empire's laws, the gatekeepers to a world of judgment and punishment. The wagon comes to a halt, not the halt, and the prisoners are roughly pulled from their seats, their chains clinking and clanging in protest, and they're herded through the gates, their footsteps echoing empty in the streets. The city, once bustling with life, now seems eerily quiet, its inhabitants hidden away behind closed doors. The prisoners are led through winding alleys and narrow passages, their eyes darting around in the faded grandeur of the city. Finally, they arrive to their destination. The imposing courthouse, its stone facade weathered and worn. The prisoners stand before the judge, their fate hanging in the balance, their hearts pounding with anticipation and dread. As they stand before the judge, they can't help but wonder if justice will prevail in this crumbling empire? Will they be condemned for crimes they may or may not have committed? Or will they find a glimmer of hope in this world of darkness and despair? Only time is going to tell us as they journey through the heart of the Buric Empire, and it is only just begun. 72 hours ago, Vesna, it's evening time. You're relaxing. What is it that you're doing?
I am in a room that I have rented for the evening. I believe either at an inn or a tavern, relaxing with a good book and waiting to hear from some people that I may or may not have paid to help me gain some information.
Perfect. You're laying there, you're reading your book. You've got your water skin laying in your lap. The tavern keeper was kind enough to fill your water skin with some nice hot tea, something floral with a little bit of honey, which usually they don't have, but you come from noble blood. You have the coin to pay for it. So he gives you some good tea and some of his more fresh bread, still crusty, on the verge of molding, but fresher. And you're off in your room having a snack, drinking your tea, and you're reading your book. And a knock at your door.
Do I recognize the knock?
It is a 3, just a simple knock.
Well,
3 knocks.
I am expecting someone, so I will open the door, but carefully. I will only open it like half of an inch, enough to see who's there.
Okay. And when you open the door, you see a familiar face. The face of the individual one of the individuals you were expecting to meet with.
I will ask for the password.
And he will say, Higitus Figitus.
That's not the password we agreed on, but fine, I'll open the door. And I open the door for him.
And he steps in and begins to engage you in conversation, allowing you to lead. You have paid him to come here. You want something from him. He's listening to what it is that what you want.
Yes, so I would have paid this individual to basically bring me information about a known thief, perhaps, and asked him to give me their whereabouts.
Yeah, and he does. He hands you an envelope, and it's sealed with a wax seal. And the wax is emerald green, and it has a gold dagger down the middle of it. And he hands it to you. He doesn't say anything. He's extremely silent. If he was to try to talk and open his mouth, you would notice that his tongue is cut out. And he hands you the envelope. He turns and he leaves.
All right. I'm looking down at the envelope, and I close the door behind him without even looking at him. Like, the transaction is over. In Vesna's mind, she has never seen this person ever again, or has never seen them before either. And she will sit on the edge of her bed and open the envelope.
Yeah, so you do. You open the envelope, and it tells you that you need to go down to the docks at right around the witching hour, and you'll be able to find the thief that you're looking for there.
Okay.
And you saw the docks when you came in. It wasn't. It's not too far from where you're at. They're pretty simple docks. A couple of loading bays, a warehouse, and a little like a shack, like a little guard shack, where they take like dockmaster shack. That's what it is, not guards, dockmaster. The little dockmaster's room. So it's evening time. It's fairly late. It's after 10 o'clock. You've been waiting, so you've got a couple hours until it's time to go.
Yeah, I'll settle back in with my tea and my book, and I've been wanting to put someone in my employ to steal something for a while. So I think that now that I know the location of this person, I've kind of resigned myself to go no matter what. And I know that I can handle myself no matter what happens.
Okay. Yeah, so what do you do while you wait? Do you keep reading? Do you prepare yourself? How do you get ready?
Yeah, I have a small drawn image of somebody that I use as a bookmark. I remove that and resume my page. And every once in a while, I think I would look out the window over the city, and this is a new place I've never been to before. So I just try to pick up on things and patterns that I might need to know about.
Yeah. So you kind of watch, you look in and out, and you go back and forth between reading and looking out. And you kind of notice that the later it gets, the sleepier the little town that you're in gets. You're in just a little town called Basin. It's right on the river, and right at the edge of Beer Rock and Chernault. It's pretty close to Tola Mill, which is the last free elven city in all of Atharis. And you can see it definitely kind of chills out towards the evening. People kind of recede to their rooms. The dock workers, they end up in the taverns. They hustle and bustle. But aside from that, they get drunk and they don't really pay attention to anything. So it's pretty normal, like fishing village life here.
Sounds good. I keep my wits about me and know that I'll be able to slip in and out of the shadows while people are especially not paying attention.
Yeah. So you spend the hours doing so, and the time comes. It's about 2:30, 2:45, and you think to yourself, maybe I should get a head start, be there early, get down there, scope it out, make sure I'm not walking into a trap or something.
Yeah.
And so you gather your things, whatever it is that you're going to take with you, you gather your things, and you slip quietly out your door. Roll me a stealth, please.
Yes. I'm pretty good at that. Okay, I have a +3. And I rolled a 15 on the dice, so that's an 18 stealth.
18, yeah. So you easily, quietly tiptoe down the stairs. You hear some sea shanties being sung as they get extremely drunk. And you're able to stick to the walls and sneak out because nobody's really paying attention to you. You almost get hit with somebody's beer as it sloshes onto the floor, but you're able to just narrowly avoid the liquor as it splashes on the ground, and you slip right out the door and head towards the docks. And you head down, and it doesn't take you long to get there. 5-10 minutes, trying to be sneaky, weaving in and out, not trying to be seen on the main road. You get down to the docks, you see the harbor master's office, a gate, and then a warehouse. And the gate is normally open during the day. That's how people would get in and out of the docks. But it so happens to be closed right now.
Okay. Did the letter say specifically, like, if I'm supposed to meet them more towards the warehouse or the docks?
Dock 4.
Okay,
which is on the opposite side of the warehouse, all the way at the end in the darkest shadows of the river.
How tall is the gate?
About 6 foot.
Okay, that's much taller than me. I am halfling, so I'm only like 3'5". I think I would try to see if the gate is locked.
Sure. Roll me an investigation.
Okay. Sorry, I keep having to find my sheet. 12 on the die for 14.
When you jiggle the lock, the door, it does appear to be locked. But as you jiggle it, you notice that one of the boards on the latch side of the gate sort of wiggles with the door handle. Like when you wiggle it, it seems like it's loose.
Okay. I think I would try to pry that away.
Yeah, when you pull it or you push it, either way, one or the other, it kind of it goes freely, off to the side, right? Like it slides over, almost like, the little rascals maybe might sneak in and out of here regularly.
Gotcha. Then I will follow suit and sneak in.
Sure. And you do, and you go through the gate, And you're in just like a little narrow stone corridor that's between the office and the warehouse. And it's damp and it smells dank, and you can smell the mix of seawater and river water, because the river that runs into Basin comes out of the ocean. So it's kind of like where fresh water meets, it's brackish. It's where fresh water meets salt water. So it's got this interesting smell, extremely fishy, but also like an air of clarity to it. But it's damp. It had been raining for the last couple of days. It cleared up this morning, but it's still pretty damp out from it raining. And you make your way down and you turn right behind the warehouse and you start to stalk down. And you see the first dock. It sits empty. There's nothing there, just some crates sitting on it. You stalk down a little more, staying close to the warehouse, hugging the shadows. And you pass the second dock. It has a small fishing ship docked. It's kind of rocking back and forth gently. There's a couple of baskets, maybe somebody sleeping inside, but it seems to be fairly quiet. You go down a little further, you get down to the third. There's a little bit of a larger fishing ship, something a little bit bigger than a skiff, maybe more of a trawler, It's got crates and barrels and nets, and the dock around it is just chaos. But there doesn't appear to be anybody there. You keep going just a little bit more, and you get past the edge of the warehouse. It stops right around Dock 3, and you can see just a little further down is Dock 4, looming in the shadows. So you head down, and you go down, and you wait. You look around. You find some crates. You sit down on a crate. What do you do?
I think I would probably pull my hood up. I have like a very fine clothes, but my cloak is a bit more simple to try to cut. So I kind of pull it closer around myself against the chill and the damp. And I think I would just kind of lean up against one of the crates. I assume they're probably a little too tall for me to get up there.
Yeah. So yeah, you find one to kind of like lean against. Very Marlboro Man sort of stance. You got your hood up, kind of leaning there, your leg kicked up back, kind of waiting. And as you do, you hear a light whistling, kind of like not necessarily jolly, but not necessarily sad either. It's kind of like a weird melancholy sort of whistle, as it's a little far away, and then it gets closer and it gets closer, and you see a dwarven man. He's wearing a long coat. He carries a big crossbow on his back, and he wears a sailor's tricorn. And he heads toward you.
I think underneath my cloak, I have my hand on the handle of my rapier, just in case. Sure. This isn't who I'm actually meeting. But I would step out slightly from the crate so that he can see that I am there.
Yeah, and when you do, he asks you, what's the password?
Crystalline.
He'll say, I like Higatus Figatus better, but that works.
Yes. Higatus Figatus was not my idea, but we can use that one if you would prefer.
I would, thanks.
Pray tell, what is your name?
Pray tell, what is yours?
As the person possibly hiring you, I think you should probably answer my questions first. Don't you think?
I mean, what I think and what I do are two totally opposite ends of the sword, you know?
Okay, well then in that case I can just leave. And she takes one step in the direction of leaving the docks.
And he just shrugs and says, you're a loss.
And I will, I'd like to do a persuasion check as I take a couple steps away and just kind of like jingle some coins in my hand.
Sure, go for it.
Rolling really well. So that's a 17 on the die, and my persuasion is a +6. So that's going to be a 23.
Sure. Let me see what old Varric's going to roll here to see if you're influencing him. Well, yeah, I ain't going to beat that. So he's like, all right. My friends call me Varric. But we ain't friends. So you can call me Varric.
Okay, Varric. My name is Vesna, and I'm looking for someone to steal something for me, potentially.
Oh. And his eyes kind of glitter for a moment. And what is it exactly you would like me to steal for you?
Well, I think I'd rather tell you where and when, and you can just pick up the package, and you may not know the contents of it, but I can probably describe what it is that I need. Only if you're okay with not knowing what you're actually taking. I need someone who is discreet.
Well, discreet's my middle name. After Frank, Scott, Mike, and Jim.
Okay, so it's Varric, Frank, Scott, Michael, Jim, discreet?
Yes, correct.
Interesting. Okay. And she takes like a tiny notepad and like writes all the names down. So she's like, I need to remember that. Oh my God. All right. In that case, I'd be willing to pay you a significant amount of gold if you're willing to take this package. Huli, I just have like a quick question, especially since this is my first time on this channel. Is there something in particular that like we're trying to head towards, or can I just kind of run with what my idea was for this?
Roll with it.
Okay. There is a man in town behind who lives above one of the shops, and he has a book. It is a tome of much interest to me. You will see a unicorn on the spine of the novel, and there is something hidden inside that book that I require. But I'd like you to just take the book. Simple enough.
Just take the book. Oh, yeah, simple enough. All right, yeah, you tell me where and when. Sounds like you got a deal. Put her there, pal. And he sticks his hand out.
Can I just roll insight really quick just to make sure that he's actually in?
How rude, but yes. How dare you not believe my shady alley dwarf that he is going to steal this for you?
So I only got a 12 on my insight.
Yeah, you think he's in. He sounds legit. You're ready to roll.
I shake his hand, and in the palm of my hand is a piece of paper with the address.
Sure. Give me a Constitution saving throw.
Okay. Really good. That's going to be a 17.
Not good enough.
Oh,
you
okay.
go to shake his hand, and you slap the paper into his palm. And as you do, from the sleeve of his coat shoots down a needle-like device and pricks you in the palm. And you feel this prick in your palm. And I'm sure it pisses you off because it's like, what the hell? I'm making a deal with you. And he just kind of holds your hand for a minute. And as he does, you start to feel woozy and lightheaded. And he says, sorry, Toots. Better you than me. And
as I pass out, can I Tasha's hideous laughter him?
Sure. If you want to burn your spell slot, go for it.
No, I'm just kidding. I'll just vicious mockery as I say, you're a son of a bitch.
Yep. And he says, well, my mother might have been a bitch, but she didn't raise no fool. And you drop to the ground.
Okay.
3 days later, you find yourself in court.
Ugh.
Daruk, 72 hours before you found yourself in front of the court in Burok at the Citadel. What is it that you were doing? If you're talking shit, you're muted. I can't see your face. Your camera's off.
Daruk is moving through the outskirts of the small towns of Burak. Daruk is a man afflicted with great wanderlust, always moving from one place to the next, and he is a forgetful man, and is not great about paying the dues at the inn before he leaves. It's never on purpose, and he always tries to make good, but Daruk's a few inns behind at this point, and probably owes about 4 weeks worth of stays to different places and dues, and does not have the gold to pay for it.
Okay.
So Daruk's in trouble for cutting out on bills, I think.
Daruk's in trouble for cutting out on bills. That's very much exactly it. You're out in the woods doing druid things, searching around, doing some logging. You get some work done for the day, and you head back into town, and you think you're going to go towards the inn when several guards approach you, and they tell you to come without a fight, or it's just going to pretty much hurt. Do you go without a fight, or do you...
Oh, no, much respect for our local guardsmen. Yes, of course. But what seems to be the problem? I haven't broken any laws. I asked the keeper of that homestead before I cut the trees down. I remembered from last time.
Well, you don't got your proper permits, and you owe every inn in this county coin.
Oh. Well, and Daruk opens his coin purse, tips it over, 5 gold pieces and a big old puff of dust fall out. I doubt this will cover it, so I guess I best be going with you.
You can work it off in the salt mines.
Well, but that'll be a new experience, I suppose. And he goes peacefully.
Yeah, they cuff you and take you off. He goes peacefully. They don't give you a hard time. They don't throw you around. They're not assholes to you. You don't resist them. They're not, flipping back on you.
I honestly, I don't think this is Daruk's first time being arrested by these people, even, as much as he wanders. He wandered through here like 3 years ago, and these same guys came to arrest him for a very similar thing.
Yep, that sounds about right. All right, so Daruk, you go peacefully. 3 days later, you find yourself in the Citadel, in front of court. Celine, 3 days ago, what is it that you were doing that landed you in front of the judge in the Citadel in the Burak Empire?
Oh, that is a loaded question.
Well, unload it.
A lot. Knowing Celine, she was probably in prison 3 days ago.
Well, probably. She's probably still there.
Crimes.
Yeah.
No. More so it's the fact that she just woke up and just decided to leave.
Yeah, that'll do it. That'll get you in trouble when you're supposed to be in prison and you just wake up and decide you want to leave. That tends to piss people off.
It's not the first time she's done it either.
Yeah, no, it's not. And it'll probably be the last.
For now.
Loki, 3 days ago, what were you doing that landed you in such a dire situation? You're here in front of a judge. You are a good human boy.
I mean, I would say boy. I'd say young man at best,
Yeah.
But I think Loki also was in prison, but not in prison. Rather, as the man of who he is and what he does, he wants to study people. And people who go raiding and spelunking into caverns that don't belong to them find very exciting things that get taken by the guard when they get in prison. So I can just wait for them to get caught and then go steal it from the jail instead of from the people themselves. And I don't like the people who run the jail, so I'm doing myself a favor. So I'm rifling around some cabinets and some chests, seeing what antiques were dug up by some do-gooder adventurers who got caught for breaking the law.
And it didn't turn out very well for you because you got caught red-handed.
Yeah, I'm not that sneaky, sadly.
Well, I mean, occasionally you could pull off something like this, and your heart was in the right place. Your mind was headed in the right direction, you thought, maybe, but your feet and your fingers carried you to arcane locks and traps on these chests that triggered alarms. And, well, rogue's gonna rogue, and jailer's gonna jail.
That
and
is
here
true.
you are. Fiora, it has been 3 days. You have been riding in this uncomfortable prison cart with a bunch of people you do not know. And they smell worse than a couple of scurvy sea dogs that haven't been off the ocean in a good 6 months. And you're not happy. You don't want to be here. You don't want to be standing in front of the judge in Burak. But whatever you were doing 3 nights ago caused you to end up here. What was it?
Probably whatever town's jail Celine was in. As we've been together for a little while. I've been hanging out at one of the dockside bars here, and a sailor caught my ear as he was telling stories about what he did before coming here. I don't know where Celine was, but I was thinking Tola Mill. As he was talking about his last employer, the Golden Barge Company. And I waited for him. He was in his drinks telling stories. When he got up, he didn't notice me follow him. When he stumbled into that dark alley to relieve himself, he had no idea what was coming. And I wanted to send a message. And well, I mean, he's the message. I beat him up for some information. Once he gave me what I wanted, I burnt his chest, and then I healed him. Dropped a little cure wounds into him, but it healed in a scar, in a stylized F. As I told him to go back to Lysek and tell them that the burning seas are coming for them.
Yeah, he did. He went back to Lysek, but not without screaming and crying and having an absolute hullabaloo about the bullshit that just happened to him. And you just so happened to catch him on a night where the local guard company was celebrating the bachelor party of this young man's older brother marrying the mayor's daughter of Toll Mill. And that did not end well for you. He took it as a personal slight against the elves, as a personal slight against the council of Toll Mill, and a personal slight against himself. And they shipped you off out of Chernobyl. They did not want you in Chernobyl anymore. You're on your way to Burak.
Could have been worse.
And as you're on your way to Burak, your prison wagon just so happens to pass on the road that runs outside of Lysek. And you can see in Lysek the belfry on fire, the night sky above Atharis taking on an eerie and foreboding appearance, the flames burning from the structure casting a flickering glow that dances across the heavens, painting the clouds in shades of oranges and reds. smoke billowing upwards, obscuring the stars and creating a haze that hangs heavily in the air. Amidst the chaos and destruction, the screams of vampires echo through the night, their haunting cries reverberating across the land. These bloodthirsty creatures, once hidden in the shadows, now reveal themselves in their desperation and agony. Their wails pierce the silence, sending shivers down the spines of all those who hear them. The moon, a pale and ghostly orb, hangs low in the sky, casting a dim, ethereal light upon the land. Its glow is tainted by the smoke and the ash, giving it an otherworldly hue. The stars, though partially obscured, still manage to twinkle faintly, their distant light a reminder of the vastness of the universe. As the night wears on, the chaos and destruction continues to unfold. The flames consume the belfry, reducing it to smoldering ruin. The screams of the vampires grow louder, their cries mingling with the crackling of fire. It is a night of terror and despair, a night that will be etched into the memories of all those who have witnessed. In the midst of this chaos, the people of Atharis can only watch in horror, their hearts heavy with grief and fear. They huddle together, seeking solace and safety in each other's presence, as the night sky above them serves its haunting backdrop, devastation that has befallen this land. Just before Lysek is out of your view, Fiora, you see come over the walls a cloaked man. You see almost a glinting smile on his face, his own blood-red eyes, as he takes off into the night and away from the chaos behind him. You're here at the Citadel in Birak. You stand before the judge. They try you for your crimes. They find you guilty of all of the things that you were caught doing red-handed. Aside from you, Vesna, you took the fall for something you had nothing to do with. They found you with evidence of magic and items that you should have not been possessing. Things that it seems like Varric must have slipped into your pocket, branding you a heretic. A man steps before you, before the judge, plated in silver armor, a long gray cloak hanging from his back. He looks at all of you. He says, "Brothers and sisters, hear me now. For the time has come to make a choice that will shape the courses of your lives. You stand before this court, accused and condemned for crimes both real and imagined. But I offer you an alternative, a path that may redeem your past and forge a new future. Join us. Join the Grey Wardens in the shadows where we stand vigilant. Join us as we carry the duty that cannot be forsworn. We are the last line of defense against the encroaching darkness, the guardians of a world teetering on the edge of oblivion. And should you choose to stand with us, know that your sacrifice will not be forgotten, and that one day we shall join you. The Chantry teaches us that it is the hubris of men which brought the Darkspawn into our world. The mages, in their pursuits of power, sought to usurp the heavens, but instead they destroyed it. They were cast out, twisted and cursed by their own corruption, becoming the first of the Darkspawn. They became the blight upon these lands, unstoppable and relentless. Dwarven kingdoms fell, and Darkspawn drove us from the deep roads, pushing us to the brink of annihilation. But the Grey Wardens came. Men and women from every race, warriors, mages, barbarians, kings. We sacrificed everything to stem the tide of darkness, and we prevailed. It has been 4 centuries since that victory, and we have kept our vigil. We have watched and waited for the Darkspawn to return, but those who once called us heroes have forgotten. Our warnings have been ignored for far too long, and now we face a threat that may be too great to overcome. I have seen with my own eyes what lies upon the horizon, a darkness that threatens to consume us all. But I believe that within each one of you lies the strength and the courage to face this impending doom. By joining the Grey Wardens, you will not only find purpose and redemption, but you will also become part of a legacy that spans generations. Together, we can stand against the encroaching darkness and protect the people of Atharis. So I ask you, in this moment of reckoning, will you choose to serve a sentence that offers no hope for redemption? Or will you embrace the call of the Grey Wardens, and in doing so, become the heroes that this world so desperately needs? The choice is yours, my brothers and sisters. Choose wisely, for the fate of Atharis hangs in the balance.
Daruk looks to each side of him and steps forward. Sounds like a good deal to me. What do I sign?
He clasps you on the shoulder and he says, "Welcome, brother." And they unhook your locks and they lead you over to where a couple of other, as you can see now, Grey Wardens are standing off to the side. And he just has you stand with them. We'll be with you in a moment. And he comes back and waits for anybody else who decides that they want to join.
Mm-hmm.
Hi, and how long's the sentence for?
How long's the sentence?
I mean, that you're offering.
Oh, well, you'd be a Grey Warden for the rest of your life. That doesn't mean you don't have freedoms afforded to you or the ability to still live and marry and be free and travel, but you would be duty bound.
So either we work for you or we rot away in prison. Either way, basically, no choice.
Well, the choice is yours. You choose freedom and heroism, or
Heroism.
you choose the salt mines.
What do you think?
Well, I've been to the salt mines before. I don't.
Same.
Uniform.
Not particularly fun, and getting out is hard.
Hard, but not impossible. Screw it. It's better than prison.
I'll come.
Okay. He claps his hand on both of your shoulders and says, "Welcome, sisters." And you get uncuffed. They lead you over to the Grey Wardens where Daruk is standing. Loki, Vesna, do you choose to join the Grey Wardens, or would you prefer to carry out your sentence elsewhere?
I'll happily wake up in a world where I could potentially see the stars each morning and not be in chains. So absolutely.
All right. He does the same, claps you on the shoulder and says, "Welcome, brother." Unhooks you, takes your cuffs off, leads you over to the others. Vesna.
Vesna looks down at her gloved hands in the chains, and she looks up at him, looks back down, and just steps forward and offers them out. But she doesn't say anything.
He just kind of looks at you. Are you mute? You can nod once for yes, or twice for yes. Just kidding.
No.
Once for yes.
She goes, "No, I am not."
The tiny one speaks.
Hey friend,
He just
it
kinda
seems
looks-
like they need you to say that you're taking the deal out loud. I don't know if you realized. It took me a second too. That's why I was looking at everyone else earlier.
She gives you a kind nod, Daruk, and then continues to like coldly stare at this guy.
Yeah, he moves past you and goes to the guy next to you. The guy next to you, he's really haggard. He's an older gentleman. He's he looks like Charles Manson, and he's pretty dirty, but he's like, yeah, I'll join anything to get me out of these cuffs, whatever I got to do. And he's like super excited and super amped up. And the guy's like, well, who am I to say no to a recruit? And he unlocks him and sends him over, and he comes over to the other group, and he's just kind of bouncing around. He's like, hi, I'm Dave. Nice to meet you. What you guys doing? What you in for? And he's just like being super annoying. And
You
he just
feeling
keeps
all right,
moving down.
Dave?
Yeah, I'm feeling great. I'm feeling fine. I feel like I can run a whole mile. I bet you've seen a donkey fly. I bet you've never seen a donkey fly, he says.
Can I
He's just
punch him in the face?
no, you cannot. That's true.
Oh, come on. That's exactly my character.
Yeah, I'm just teasing. You can. If you want to try to punch him, of course.
Punch
Yeah,
him,
I'll
punch
try
him.
and punch him in the face.
Thank you.
What am I rolling?
Unarmed.
That's a 22 to hit.
All right, yeah. So you punch him. He falls down, and he jumps back up, and he's like, whoa, that was so cool. You hit really hard for a girl. Do it again.
I hate this motherfucker.
I'm sorry, was that I hate him or I hit
Dave,
him?
I hate him. But probably hit him as well. It's what she does.
that was less clear somehow. Less clear on the repeat somehow.
Honestly, I don't know.
I think actually, can I make a medicine check? Take a look at Dave. Does Dave look like he's high or he's sick or he's just like this?
Dave looks like his mom stood too close to a medieval microwave, and he just has natural ADHD. He can't help it. He's just super excited.
Gotcha.
His pupils aren't dilated or anything.
Gotcha.
He's just on 10 all the time.
100%.
But he's like bouncing around.
I
He's
give
super happy.
Dave. I give Dave a section of my. Or wait, no, I don't have rope right now. I'm guessing I'm in court.
Yeah, you have nothing. You don't have your belongings.
Never mind. Never mind.
Yeah, so the lead Grey Warden, he goes down the line, and some people actually don't decide to join, but a couple more do, and then he comes back, and as he's like headed back, he stops at Vesna, and he just looks at her, is like this kind of like last chance.
She says, you realize that guy is not really making your point for you. And she points at Dave.
He doesn't
And
need
I just
make
want to
a-
go on the record that I am in fact innocent. However, I would certainly prefer freedom to salt mines.
You just hear like a little rumble through everybody that's like still chained up or wasn't. It's kind of like that, yeah, we're innocent too, sort of rumble when you say, I just want to clarify that I'm innocent. You're in
Well,
court.
nobody else said that though. I'm the first
Yeah,
one who
they're
actually
just kinda
said it,
like-
you guys. Come on.
Yeah, it's just kind of this like rumble of like, yeah, well, I'm innocent too, sort of thing. And he says, duly noted. And he unlocks you and lets you head over to everybody else.
Okay.
Once you're all gathered, he tells you that he is the captain of the Grey Wardens. He is Captain Jim Bob, and he's gonna put you on a wagon and take you off to the Grey Warden castle, temple, tower, whatever kind of building a Grey Warden would be in, and that's where you're gonna go. And you got a little bit of time to travel, so. You get your stuff back, you get your packs handed back to you. Anything that you had on your person when you got arrested, you find it in your pack. All your stuff is together. Everything that you brought with you, you're allowed to have. Dave doesn't have anything except for 2 popsicle sticks. Both of them have faces drawn on them. One of them has long red pipe cleaners from the top, and the other one doesn't have any pipe cleaners at the top, but like the top of the popsicle stick has like little notches out of it to look like little pointy hairs. And he just spends the whole ride like Jack and Jill went up the hill to fetch a pail of water. Jack fell down and broke his crown, and Jill came tumbling after. And then he like throws his sticks down and picks them up and goes through that thing the whole way there.
How long
is that?
It's about a 12-hour ride by cart.
Awesome. I would love to spend at least an hour of that sitting with Dave and talking with him. And I'd like to use the Ogresh feature, A Friendly Ear, and ask Dave what he knows about the Grey Wardens. He needs to make a wisdom saving throw. The DC is 8 plus 2 plus 2, I think. So, I think it's 12. Or he is charmed by me and will tell me one piece of information that he knows about the topic.
I rolled a natural 20, but Dave really likes you because you're the only person that's been nice enough to strike up a conversation with him. So he'll start telling you anything that he knows. He'll tell you that the Grey Wardens like to kill demons and that his mom once was in love with the Grey Warden and she couldn't marry him because she wasn't of proper station, but she ended up having a different boyfriend who was definitely not a Grey Warden. He was more like a Brown Warden, and you don't want to know what a Brown Warden is. But the Grey Wardens, they're kind of like these dudes. They're almost like the Inquisition, but way cooler, and they kill demons and they drink demon blood, and it's really just awesome.
Hang on, babe. What?
Yeah, go back to the drink demon blood bit, Dave.
I don't think that'll do much for me, to be fair.
And I think Daruk fixates on that. You said they drink demon blood. Where'd you hear that at, Dave?
Oh, just one of those campfire stories. We were singing Kumbaya right before that.
Okay. So what do you do to get locked up?
Well, so there's this place that I really like to go, and they serve this really cold cow's milk, and they put sugar in it, and it's really sweet. And they also have these like fruit juices, and they put them in this really like big ice block, and they put these little sticks in them. See, this is Jack and this is Jill, and these sticks used to be inside of these little juice pops. And I went in there, and when I went in there to get one, I only had 1 copper, and I wanted 2 of them. And when they didn't give me 2, I just waited until they weren't looking, and I swiped the other one, and I ran away.
Oh.
He stole a lollipop.
And now you're...
An ice lolly.
Oh my. I didn't realize how disproportionate these punishments can be.
Well,
and I'm
was
gonna
like...
look around at everyone else in the cart. What did you all do to end up here?
A lot.
Like, I owed quite a bit of money. Quite a bit, to be fair. I understand, and I'm not. It's not a first offense. It's sort of a 5 strikes, you're out sort of deal here.
I sent the wrong message. Well, it was the right message. I guess I sent the wrong messenger.
I did quite a few things. It's pretty hard to nail down what actually landed me in prison this time. Maybe it was leaving. It was probably leaving again.
So you belong here. Got it. And you, miss the one who... You said you're innocent. Yes?
You see Vesna looks up from her book, and she says, yes, I was framed, in fact. But unfortunately, the judge doesn't let you speak on your behalf. They just give the punishment, and there's no option to defend yourself. So I was simply asking someone to buy a book for me.
To buy a book for you?
And I'd like to make an insight.
Okay.
Yeah, I was gonna say
Can
the
I do
same
contested?
thing.
You can contest it with your deception. Absolutely.
Awesome. That's a nat 20.
23.
Nat 20.
Yeah, I know for a fact unless I get one, I'm not fucking finding shit. I have a +0 to my bloody insight.
So that's a 24.
Yeah, I rolled a 6.
What are you trying to glean? What are you trying to glean from Vesna, group?
Someone was buying a book. I mean, I was really just trying to see if she's innocent. Like, she said it in court. She's the only person who said it. So far, Daruk thinks these courts have a 100% conviction rate, and they're 100% right. So it's very odd that Vesna is innocent. He's
With my
into
deception, I think you would see that she is innocent. With a nat 20.
Oh, well, that's,
I think that's what she's trying to portray as,
quite a shame. You know,
yes,
we should really try to get you an appeal. Maybe send it further up the ladder.
I was just trying to have someone to help me, and instead he pumped me with some liquid and then framed me, and I woke up in a cell, and you know it wasn't my fault. And she, like a small tear rolls down her cheek.
And you say he poked you with some liquid? Are you feeling well now?
Oh well, I'm still a little dizzy, but other than that, I'm feeling fine.
Daruk will just again assess to see if there's any lingering effects here.
Sure, DC 14 medicine check.
Easy, 22.
Yeah. It just kind of looks like she's coming down from a heavy sedative. So still a little woozy, things like that. Nothing, no lingering or lasting injuries, no poison, just a heavy sedative.
Yeah, and that reinforces her story to Daruk as well. There's some physical evidence there. But we have to get this taken care of somehow. I'll see if perhaps we could all speak to the captain. And he looks at everyone else in the cart. Just instantly
new to this, ain't you?
Board.
How many times do you think they've been incarcerated?
Yeah.
Oh no, this is my. Well, in that county, this was 5, and then back when I was in. Well, that wasn't in the Empire, so I don't. Are we counting just the Empire, or just in general arrests?
In general.
Oh, we've got to be in our 20s to 30s by now, at least.
Is that it?
But I mean, you were guilty all those times, no?
Yes, I've always been guilty.
$20 to $30.
I mean, they're not particularly big on giving you a second chance, if you know what I mean.
It seems the captain is not interested in hearing what we have to say. So, but I appreciate you, your kind heart, Daruk.
Thank you.
I can see already that we will be fast friends.
Thank you. I hope so. Your name, of course. I don't think I caught it.
Vesna, and you see she puts her hand out, kind of not quite a handshake. It's more like more like this.
Yeah, he still reaches out like this and shakes your hand anyway. Just crushes it in his grip. To give a little bit of scale here too, Vesna is how tall? 3.5 feet.
Yeah.
Literally half Daruk's size. Daruk is pushing 7'2". And as an ogresh is described as wider than he is tall.
And you would notice when you grab her hand that there's less hand in the glove than should be.
Okay. Ooh.
Missing a couple digis.
Daruk doesn't mention anything. He's knows better than to pry in that.
Well, what about you? What's your name? And she would look to you, Fiora.
I am Fiora of the Burning Sea.
Nice to meet you.
Likewise.
Good talk. And
So,
she
I
goes
mean-
back to reading her book.
So, where are the burning seas? I've not seen any on fire yet.
If you see me on a boat one day, I'll show you. It's kind
I
of
think it's
something
more
something I
vigorous,
did.
Oh, is it like a guild then?
Something like that. Don't know that they'd call it that. It was more me and some friends. And
Oh, well,
let's just say I lit the sea on fire.
impressive. Water doesn't burn very easily.
I mean, if you get it hot enough.
Usually it boils if you get it hot enough. And then you up there, the psychopath with the hair stripe.
I've been called worse.
You seem quite proud of your criminal past.
I
Surprised you're
wouldn't
taking
exactly
a
say
shot at redemption.
criminal. People just disagreed with what I did.
Was
I mean,
what
I've
you
been
did
arrested
not very
enough
nice?
Oh. Hmm. I don't even remember how many times I've been arrested. Do you remember?
I mean, did you get arrested before we met?
It's me. What do you expect? Yes.
Well, I mean, I guess you're getting somewhere around 50 because I know I hit 30 last week.
$30 in 1 week, you say?
I said we hit 30 by last week, not like in last week. Like I hit 30.
I mean, I
Just
wouldn't
say-
put it past.
Let's just say it's not the first message I've sent.
Yeah.
To be fair, Celine probably got arrested like near that in a week.
It's a really
People
good
think
thing
that-
that all of these countries have, no international database management.
Oh no, she's known everywhere.
No doubt. No doubt.
Yeah. She was genuinely expected to just be executed today.
Well, if we're doing happy hour talking time, what about you, lad? That would be it, Loki.
Oh, what do you want to hear about my rather short arrest record in comparison to the criminal masterminds that sit before me, or commentary on the play that's been going on repeat with the exact same cast by Mr. Dave, Brother Dave, excuse me, given our new positions, or would you like to hear about who I am?
Yes.
I mean, that's
brother.
that's probably where to start.
First, I mean, a bit of each wouldn't be amiss. I'd like to hear your thoughts on Dave's play. I quite like it.
Dave's play is a bit elementary, but there's nothing wrong with the classics, especially when performed so consistently and with such belief. On who I am, I think I fall into the same boat as the short misses over there of being innocent, but innocence is a perspective of those who commit the crime and against those who find the law. And I don't think what I did was wrong, but that doesn't exactly matter. I'm maybe 7 or 8 arrests deep. Typically, I get out, though. Folks typically don't like to convict me when they find out what I do, but that's not aside the point. I like to travel. I like to take long walks on the beach by the burning seas. There's not much to say. I still have much of my life to live.
So what you're saying is you're boring.
Yeah, a lot of people would find me that. History and anthropology is not the most exciting thing to a lot of people.
I mean, I'm technically dead, so...
You study...
Dead is much more interesting. Yes, I do.
Oh, quite interesting. So, I've never been much for studying man. I'm much more of a beast person myself, but I can appreciate a different perspective.
Well, that is what it's all about. Finding out about other people's cultures, about their races, religions, especially the ones that once were, but never getting that back. But it's still part of an interesting history. You get to learn all about everything, about how their people worked, their art worked, their music worked, their criminal behaviors, and things of that nature.
So you're quite a young man, aren't you? Being a human and whatnot.
I'm a quarter of the way there, I'd say. I'm only early on into my 20s.
Yes. Quite a young man. Yes, if there's anything you'd like to know of from, before your experience to about 100 years ago, I'm happy to speak on it.
Oh, I'm sure we'll make great conversation. Each of you are people who are not too much like myself. It's always nice to be observant and to learn from others who are not like you.
Yes,
So
that it is.
While we're all making niceties and all, are we all really gonna go here and... Dave said drink demon blood, right?
Jack and Jill went up the hill to fetch a pail of water. Jack fell down and broke his crown. And
someone please knock him out.
Hey, I was giving it a different ending. I said she thought about tumbling after. Now I have to start my play over again. I know you want to watch it again. Jack and Jill went up the hill to fetch a pail of mead.
I wish
Jack
I
fell
could
down and broke his crown, and Jill laughed the whole time, not tumbling after.
No, I think he's got it this time. Fetching a pail of mead makes way more sense.
Wait, what? Someone mentioned mead?
No, Dave. Let's work on rhyme scheme here. You're going with an A, X, Y, M instead of going A, B, A, B for your rhyme scheme.
Well, I like my original better, so I'll stick with it. Jack and Jill went up the hill to fetch a pail of water. Jack fell down and broke his crown, and Jill came tumbling after.
We're on a cart, right? It's horse-drawn?
You are in kind of like essentially the same thing as the prison wagon was. Think you're being carted off to the wall. You're headed off to the wall, like Game of Thrones, where they take... When you go to take the black, you're going essentially to take the black.
All right. All right. I think Daruk's honestly just gonna lay back and rest at that point. Then.
Yeah. So you go the rest of your
nothing to do but wait.
You go the rest of your travels. You lay back and you rest. Some of you may read, some of you may scowl, some of you may try to find things to stuff into your ears to burst your eardrums as Dave keeps prattling on. At one point in time, Dave decides he wants to change his mind This is the song that never ends because it goes on and on again. Because Dave just started singing, not knowing what it was. And he just goes on and on and on, you know. He changes it up for a while. And about the time when you think even the most patient one of you is going to snap, your eye is twitching, your fingers getting a little loose, you're kind of like, if I have to listen to one more round of this fucking song, you pull in to this massive courtyard. A giant portcullis lifts open, you pull into a courtyard, and the door opens. And the couple of people that were at sort of the back, they push each other out, like face first, like, get me out of here. So they kind of fall in a pile on the ground, face first in the dust. Vesna, you're the next one closest to the back. These bodies piled up like this makes a perfect step stool down. Like, they laid out the red carpet for you.
I think about it, but then I gesture to let Dave go first.
Yeah, Daruk actually will put his hand out in front of Dave, step over the pile of people and start helping people up, and then offer to help anyone who can't quite reach the floor down.
I'll take your offer. Yeah. Step down gingerly.
Oh, just
kind of nod at Dave and just say,
he just sort of puts his hands together as a platform for people to use as an extra step down from the carriage.
Oh, that's very nice. I like that. She'll kind of nod at Dave as she goes down and just say, you should consider learning some other songs, and then steps down.
Dave's gonna Donnie from the Wild Thornberries right out of the back of that thing. Like, he's gonna land a forward back handspring out of the back of that. Like, he is extremely spry. He looks rough. He's dirty. He smells awful. He needs a haircut, but he is ungodly acrobatic the way he lands that. And he just bounces along singing something about, I love you, you love me, let's get together and kill demonies. You know, he just starts
you tried. You definitely tried.
You're trying. We see that you try. And that's, I suppose, what matters.
E for effort. It's a big E for effort. And so you get down. All of you get out. Loki, you're kind of the last one to trickle out. You find yourself amongst a very interesting cast. And I imagine as you step down lastly, you kind of shake your head like, should I have gone to the salt mines? Maybe I should have gone to the salt mines. As you can hear Dave winding up one of the guards near the gate. And he's just like, everybody's cool, you know, little neighborhood crackhead without the crack, you know, like Smokey. He's smoky. He's like Smokey. And he's just going around. So you see the guards, they get down, they start unloading some things. And Jim Bob, he comes over and he says, it's kind of late. I'm going to get you some accommodations, and then we're going to get into this tomorrow. I'm sure you're hungry. It's been a long ride. You've had some excellent theater along the way, and he kind of leads you in to...
Just one quick question, Captain.
Sure.
Do we actually have to drink demon blood?
He just kind of looks at you.
At the courthouse.
He says, campfire stories.
Thought so. Okay. Good to know.
Can I
Thank
insight that?
You can.
Same.
$10.
24.
Fiora breathes a sigh of relief.
Campfire stories. That's it. It's campfire stories.
All right.
So he leads you in.
Follow along and settle in then. Shall we not?
Yeah, he leads you into the keep. The first place he takes you when you head into the keep, You go through the entranceway, and he leads you into like a grand dining hall. Several wardens are seated at the tables. They're having a sort of dinner. It doesn't look too grand, but it's much better than, you know, the food that you've had the last couple days, which has consisted of hardtack and not so fresh water. And you can sit down at the tables, and if you don't eat meat, there's not meat options, but most of it is like steak and kidney pie sort of situation. Nothing too fancy. It would just be like a leek and kidney pie instead of leek and kidney bean pie instead of steak and kidney pie. That would be your secondary option. Some mash, some ale or mead or water or juice if you prefer, whatever your, you know, normal medieval drink is. Some people may not take alcohol, some people may. You're able to do those things. It's pretty uneventful. Everybody's pretty quiet. The wardens that are already active wardens, they don't really speak to you. You get a table off to yourself. It's pretty clear that it's like the conscription area, and they're very big on brotherhood. You can tell there's a lot of camaraderie amongst them, but they kind of stick to themselves. Pretty much like when you're pledged into a frat house. You're not a brother till you're a brother sort of situation. You're able to eat. It's uneventful. They take you off to what's kind of like barracks, but it's more like a barrack hallway where you have paired off rooms. Loki and Daruk, you end up in a room together. Celine and Fiora, you end up in a room together. Vesna, you end up in a room with one of the other women that was on the cart. She's very quiet. She doesn't say much. She's kind of meek and frail, but she kind of sticks to herself. She just sticks to herself.
Best roommate ever. Best roommate ever.
They put Dave on a straw pallet in the wine cellar on the opposite side of the barracks so that nobody has to hear 1 sheep, 2 sheep, red sheep, blue sheep as he counts himself to sleep.
Before we go to bed, is it possible, like, as we're walking to the rooms or something, I could, like, walk next to Celine for a moment?
Sure. I'm sure if Celine doesn't mind, you could. I mean, you're in a state of freedom. They're not treating you like prisoners. You're just still like pledges, conscripts. So you're able to go to your rooms. They show you. You can walk and talk, and they show you where the bathrooms are. It's a communal bathroom. The bath pits are laid into the floor. There's 2 of them. They're separated. They're on opposite sides of the room. One's for males, one's for females. There's sort of like a partition down the middle where there's like towels and things thrown over, stuff like that. They show you to your rooms. You have the freedom to do what you need to do or want to do, aside from leave this place for the rest of the evening. You might feel free, but you ain't.
Okay, then I think later on when I'm brushing my teeth, I would brush my teeth next to Celine in the bathroom, and just kind of like give her a nod as I'm brushing my teeth and be like, "So are you down with all of this stuff? You're gonna stay and do all this, or where you from?"
I mean, I've been in worse situations.
Right, but they're gonna want us to pledge and all of this. Are you planning on staying for that, or?
Honestly, I don't even know. I've done quite a few things just to get by. Joining a weird demon cult isn't the worst thing I've done.
Well, just let me know if you're thinking about possibly not doing this. And she'll spit her toothpaste and go back to her room.
Oh yeah, Celine's not even like attempting to clean up because she doesn't need to.
Nice.
I think as we all get back to our rooms and split off to do our own things, the second the door to Daruk and Loki's rooms closes, you see Daruk's face drop from the jovial idiot as he begins to ritual cast Detect Magic, looking at all the walls and corners of the room, and is going to investigate for anywhere where someone could be listening or watching in.
Okay.
Right,
Go ahead and roll it.
Yeah. Do you want an investigation or perception to look for anything like that, like any hidden ways or?
You can just roll whichever one that you prefer, and I will give you information accordingly.
Okay, cool. That is a 19 perception.
So you go and you look around the room, and you look in all the nooks and crannies, and you peek out the window that you have in there. It's not a very big window. It's just like an arched window in the stone setting. It's covered with wooden shutters. You can open it, but it is barred. There's nobody outside your door. You see like a few wardens coming in and out down the hallway to go to their own respective rooms, but as far as you can see or tell just from looking around, you're not finding anything that appears to be methods of espionage.
Wonderful. Yeah, and then can I see the moon from the window? We got a nice view. Cool. I'll turn to Loki. Well, circumstances seem to have put us together. So I'll be straight with you. We don't have much of a choice other than to serve at this point. This was a better option than the salt mines. And if they think you're a happy idiot, things are going to go a lot easier for us. You in?
I think I've already portrayed myself on the happy part. I'm not going to do much to hide the not idiot part, but I'm more than happy to make sure yours is concealed. I'll just be doing what I think is best.
Appreciated. You planning on going out to check anything out tonight? Or you just about to settle in yourself?
Whatever we're going to see for the next 3 months, so I figure it can wait a night.
Fair enough. And I'll go ahead and, yeah, Daruk's gonna tuck in for the night.
Perfect. Loki, you jumping in bed too?
What's our room like? Just basic bunks? Do we have desks?
We've got 2 single-size beds. They are wooden frames. They have a straw mat mattress on the bottom, but covering that straw mat mattress is a feathered down sort of pillow top covering and a nice warm, what looks to be handmade quilt on each bed. There is a nightstand next to each bed and a desk in the center of the 2 of them. Also at the foot of each bed is a trunk, and a weapons rack hangs on the wall on either side of the door, looking as if it coordinates with the respective bunk side. And an armor stand as well in each corner. So you've got a place to stash weapons, you've got a place to stash armor, a trunk. The key to the trunk sits on top of it because it's not in use, so you are able to lock it to secure your belongings.
Nice.
And there's some parchment, a couple of quills, a few pieces of chalk, and candles, and a little candlestick holder there.
Nice. Yeah, Loki will just settle in. Probably not use any light. Just let the moonlight light the room to write at the desk for a little bit before heading to bed.
Sure. What are you writing? Writing in a journal? Are you taking notes on your archaeology, things you found? Are you writing better lyrics for Dave's songs? What you writing in your journal?
Taking notes in my personal diary just about the people that I saw on the cart today. A lot of what Loki does is being a fly on the wall, staying observant, reading people because of the work he's done to be who he is, and just writing down basic thoughts, ideas about each person.
Okay. So yeah, how much time do you say you spend doing that? Is that a nightly ritual? Is that something you do every night before you go to bed?
In this case, we're doing it. It's not very much a ritual. Whenever I meet new people that I'm probably going to be around for a while, I like to keep tabs just to be aware of all things.
All right. And like, about how long do you think that you sit at the desk there and write?
Maybe 30 minutes, an hour at most, just depending on how many people were in that cart, because there were these four, and I'm sure plenty of other people enjoying Dave's performance for the 12 hours as well.
Yeah, probably about a dozen of you in total.
Yeah, about an hour then, just to write down everything about everyone. No one was really too notable just yet.
Perfect. So you do that. You spend an hour. Daruk crawls into bed. He has some of the most comfortable sleep he's ever had, and he doesn't have to worry about, did I not pay this, when he wakes up in the morning. And same for you. You crawl into bed, and it's much more comfortable than like a cave floor or hiding in the forest or so and such, where you would be looking for artifacts and things. It's like a very comfortable feathered down mat that if you feel around the edges, you can feel straps. Like these feather mats are able to be rolled up for bed rolls if you were to travel. So you crawl in and you bunker down and you get rested. Celine and Fiora, what are you doing?
Oddly enough, Fiora also probably is writing. Probably just like names and bits about people, but think of it almost like like a ship log, right? Mostly documenting what's happened over the last few days, etc. And is fondly hoping that the fire in Lysak spread beyond the Belfry to a specific building.
I mean, fair. Die, GBC. So you sit there, right? And your guys' room is set up just like Loki and Daruk's. You have the same furniture. The key to your chest is in there, writing utensils, things like that. Celine, what do you do while Fiora spends her time? Captain's log, stardate 1825.3. Dave irritated the piss out of me for a whole 12 hours today, and I thought about tossing him in the brig that is the bottom of the ocean.
She's probably doing what she always does at this time of night, since she doesn't really need to sleep, and that's just exercising.
Some calisthenics.
No, she's like full on Sarah Connor, flipping her bed up and using it to do pull-ups.
I love it. Fiora is used to this.
Yeah. It's like,
Yeah.
You need to sleep, so every night she's just, I'll just exercise.
I mean, that's fair. So you exercise. Fiora, you write for a little bit, then you crawl in bed. You don't really need to sleep either. You kind of go into your trance, but at least you can sit like comfortably crisscross applesauce to trance out and do what you need to do. And then we go over to Vesna, your roommate. Her name is Declan. She is a little dwarven woman.
Dwarf.
She's very meek and mild, and she tells you that this is her first time on the surface, and her parents didn't want her to go. But she met a Grey Warden when they came down to like help clear out some of the darkspawn and the deep roads, and she thought they were awesome, and she wanted to, explore. And dwarves don't really normally go topside. It's not something that they really condone. So she disinherited herself from her clan to be able to go skyward. And she's really quiet about it. She kind of tells you like in a very mousy voice, like wants to kind of make friends, but is still very skeptical because she doesn't know anybody and she's only ever dealt with dwarves. But you're close to size that she is, and you haven't tried to kill her or punch her in the face yet. So
yeah,
friends, right?
I think I would probably know a dwarven like song or two or dirge or something. So I think I would pull out my viol and just very softly play like a lilting tune that maybe she would recognize that would help her think of home. And while Vesna's expertise isn't usually in music, it is something that, you know, she enjoys and is just kind of almost not half-heartedly, but absent-mindedly playing this as she winds down for bed, and has already put all of her closest belongings deep into her bodice, knowing not to trust dwarves anymore. She's keeping everything on her person.
You said, fuck them dwarves.
But also this girl seems nice. So I'll play her a little song and maybe she won't steal from me.
Yeah, I'll tell you what song you play 1 second.
And Vesna has other instruments, but the viol is her favorite, and she does like dwarven lullabies and things like that.
Yeah, so you start out in the forest, in the hills, in the legend, in the lore. There once lived a clan of the elves we abhor, the arrogant height and their pansy decor. We merely the first crimes they pay for, and it goes on and on and on. You know, such and such, because elves and dwarves.
Yes, and not so much the words, but more the tune is what she would be kind of plucking away at.
And she kind of like hums along with it until you stop hearing the humming and she falls asleep. And you notice when she falls asleep, she's clutching something in her hand, like super tight to her chest.
Can I see what it is?
You can get up and go look and give me a investigation or perception. Give me a perception. I like that.
I don't want to wake her up though. I just
you can still peek over her.
Which two? Investigation or what?
Perception.
They're the same. Okay. Do investigation. 18. I'm rolling really good.
You notice that it is a small doll. Okay. It looks like a handcrafted dwarven doll. But what stands out to you is the glint of silver between the shoulders and the head.
Glint of, like, the neck of the doll is silver?
It's silver in the neck region, but you rolled well enough to notice that it doesn't appear to be on the outside, but maybe
something inside of it.
Yeah.
I really don't want to get shivved. Is she actually asleep?
Yes, she's snoring. Like, think of the most obnoxious person you've ever heard snore in your entire life. Multiply it by 5, and then add a night of drinking.
Gotcha. I think I'm just going to sit outside the door. Not gonna stay in this room tonight. I think I'm just gonna...
This little girl is gonna shiv you?
I'm just gonna sit outside and read my book and protect her. Obviously, that's what I'm doing. But I'm not gonna steal her doll. I feel like that's rude. So, and I just met her.
That's
so
fair.
Look, Vasa's got some morals, and those morals sometimes come into play. So we're not stealing a little girl's doll, but we are not sleeping in this room either, because...
Well, she's not
I've had
really, she's not really a little girl. She's probably like 79-ish.
Oh, I thought you said she ran away from her parents. So I was picturing she was like a teenager.
Well, she left
Dwarf
like,
years.
Yeah, it's dwarven years. 79 is like still a young dwarf. She's just a young dwarf.
She's just a little one.
Yeah, she's not like a child, but she's like an adolescent, like a young adult.
Can I hear Dave from the hallway? This will help make the decision for me.
You can hear Dave
Okay,
echoing.
yeah. I'll stay up and read by the light of the fire.
The stone walls carry really well, and you can see, much to the annoyance of some of the other brothers who thought that putting him down in the wine cellar on the opposite end of the keep was going to help it, but it's almost like he started singing louder because he wanted you to be able to fall asleep with him. He's just singing you a lullaby. The Cat's in the Cradle and the Silver Spoon, Little Boy Blue and the Man in the Moon.
It is a great song, though. But not when Dave sings it.
So that's your evening. It's been a very eventful day, very eventful couple of days. You get some rest. The only one of you that does not get the benefits of an entire short rest is Vesna, who does not take the comfort to actually sleep.
It's okay. I haven't taken any spell slots.
Yep. So you're good then. So, yeah, the next morning rolls around and you're up, and Adam, it's fairly early. These people keep a pretty tight schedule when it comes to mornings. They have their drills and things that they do. Calisthenics in the morning before breakfast. Horses and animals get fed first. Their hounds, they have hunting hounds. They get fed first, and then they go in and they eat. And that's where we're going to leave it for today. We're going to leave it at breakfast the next morning, when you'll hear more for what's coming up. What's coming up? It's been exciting stuff of what's coming up. Well, good stuff, guys. Let's go around and tell everybody who we are and where we can be found, and we'll say our goodbyes and good nights. I want to start at the opposite end with Chip.
Hi all, I'm Chip or Chipper. You can find me on Twitch and Twitter at EatHotChipAndDie. You can also find me here on Heroes and Hooligans on Thursday nights, where I'll be running our Eberron show, Gilded Destinies, with our lovely Hooli and Dawn as players.
Don?
I'm Don. Yeah, I play in Thursdays. I don't really do much else on Twitch or anything, but I guess if you want a game, you can find me on like PlayStation or League. It's New Drone 001. That's the only place you will find me other than here on Mondays and Thursdays, where we have a blast.
I guess, if you want to.
If you want to see me play a different sorcerer, come Thursday.
A different one. Aren't you a warlock on Thursday?
No, he's a sorcerer.
That is a shadow sorcerer.
I would have never known. I actually would have known, but I wouldn't have known because I don't pay that much attention, clearly. I thought you were a warlock this whole time.
To be fair, we've had exactly 4 rounds of combat so far in the game.
We have
because I used Eldritch Blast, which should have clued you in.
Actually, fun fact for those of you in the audience that don't know Don is an anti-Eldritch Blast warlock player because he doesn't want to be the typical warlock. So
yeah, I might take it as a cantrip, but I'm not taking the invocations, and most times I'm taking other cantrips. That's also accurate, Twitch chat. That's exactly why I play warlocks.
Aria, hi friend.
Hi everyone, I'm Arya Galaxy, playing the mysterious but beautiful Vesna, the halfling bard. And you can find me over on Guild Superior or La Notte Eterna, or La Not Eterna, excuse me. And sometimes I play a sorcerer too. Sorcerers are fun.
Sorcerers are fun.
And I'm super excited to be joining this crew, and can't wait to get to know all the rest of the characters even better.
All right. Let's go up. Loki. What's up, buddy?
Hi, folks. You might know me now as Loki, but my real name is Riley Manus. You can catch me on Twitter at ManusVO. You can find everything you want to know about me there, whether it's my website, my TikTok, my voiceover stuff, or if you keep an eye out, you'll see me tweet out about when I play a Netrunner on Wednesdays or a fighter on Thursdays with some other groups. Thank you so much for being with us tonight.
Thank you for being here with us tonight. Hey, Kev. What's up, man?
Not much. Hi, my name is Kevin, and sadly, the only place you can find me is here on Monday nights. I don't exist anywhere else.
That's because you're on the other side of the world, and it's the middle of the night for you. That's why.
That is true. It is like 3:30 in the morning right now, but I don't care.
All right. I have been Huli, your obnoxiously annoying Dave and GM this evening. Thanks for hanging out. Welcome to season 2 of Delirium. Shit's about to get wild. You can find me here Monday nights, 7:30 Central. You can find me Thursdays, also here, 6:30 Central. We play Eberron, Chip GMs. You can find me also over at Guild Superior coming up on December 30th. We are finishing up our 4-session Walking Dead story arc. Kurt is a fantastic GM. If you want your heartstrings pulled at and your arms cut off, by all means, come over and join that show. You will fucking love it. And you can also find me doing things in the background over there at Guild Superior and Queen's Court Games, an award-winning Vampire the Masquerade podcast channel who does the All Night Society. They are internationally awarded. So if you are into spooky vampires and sassy Ivy LaRue, then you should definitely check that out. She's fantastic. So thank you. We appreciate you. And I think somewhere off in the universe, when they sign off on shows, they say something snazzy like goodbye and good night. But I'm not quite that snazzy. So we'll catch everybody next week. Have a good night.
Stay classy.